Good morning. I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for being here today. Sorry for the snafu yesterday. We had somebody moving in a moving truck and they ran over the cable box. So we didn't have internet yesterday morning, so I do apologize. What's up, Silver Spur? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Morning Coin Junkie, Siren, me. Hope you all are doing well. Thank you all for being here. What's up, Dislogic? Hope you're doing well. Good morning, Paula and Eric. How are you two?
Good morning. Doing wonderful. And
I
you?
am well. I am well. I just have one thing to say. Good morning, campers. Rise and shine. Don't forget your booties because it's cold out there today. Happy Groundhog Day.
That's such a great movie.
That is a great movie. It's cold every day.
Yeah, that is such a great movie. He did an amazing job in there. I was reading, so you know how you have people who take these and they create the lore behind it and how many years he must have been in this particular loop in order to learn and do all the things.
Right?
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
a couple hundred years. Whereas the what was the one that Tom Cruise was in? Um, where he was combating the memory alien.
I don't know.
You remember
But
that
do you think
movie?
it could? Do you think it would have been that long? Because wouldn't she have aged like
Well, in the movie, there he's living every day as Groundhog Day. So the next day he wakes up and it's still Groundhog.
it's
It's
still the
Groundhog Day
same
again.
day?
Yeah. So
But okay, yeah,
no, no,
yeah.
Silver Spur. It's not Top Gun. It's the one with the alien where
Stuck
um,
in a time warp
if
continuum.
you
It's time
shoot,
continuum.
I can't remember the name of that movie. I'll have to look it up and figure it out. But anyway, that one was
Huh.
thousands of years, is what they estimated for that one to happen, in order to get the
Hmm.
timing and everything done. So it's interesting to listen to the theory behind it. But yeah, Groundhog
I
Day is
don't know.
amazing.
That movie is fun. It's just
Yeah,
fun. I love that movie.
yeah, exactly, Eric. They're talking well
Yeah,
to
that's true.
to do all of that and to understand the exact timing of when kids were going to be, falling out of trees and doing stuff like that. So it was crazy.
Good
David's
morning,
doubloons. Good
David.
morning.
The
But yeah, it's a fun.
balloons.
One of the other favorite movies from him is What About Bob? I love
I love that
What
movie.
About Bob?
Hmm.
I'm sailing. I'm sailing. Such a great movie. Oh, so let's talk a little bit about yesterday's stream. I think that went really well.
Did go good.
It
Once
did.
we once we got
Once
past the
yeah,
echo,
the
echo,
echo.
echo, echo.
Who's I'm not echoing. You're echoing. I'm not laughing. You're laughing.
Yeah, that.
Oh
But it was
my
a great
god.
conversation, and Coin Show podcast ended up talking a lot about other aspects of stuff last night too. Coin Show podcast
Fan
had a really good show last
information.
night.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Yeah.
that was a fun stream. I thank you guys for putting that together. That was and for inviting me on. That was a lot of fun.
Well, it was kind of, off the cuff. It was just like an on the fly type thing. It happened. And, Amanda found that stuff. I made Chuck aware that this chick was, what was out there. He started doing some more research on it, found like all that. I mean, unbelievable how much garbage he found out there in just that short amount of time. So it was more put together to just make people aware, that this stuff is out there, and if you're gonna buy books or support somebody, make sure that they're worthy of your time and your money, because there are a lot of good authors out there and a lot of great books out there. Um, you don't need to be buying garbage, and yeah, it's so.
And so again, there were a couple of things, and we didn't we had limited time. There's
Mhm.
so much to cover. Again, we just scratched
Yeah.
the surface, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's not to say that there's not people who are very well known who don't actually write good material. There's people out there who do an amazing amount of research on their own, really looking, digging in. Young kids who are really passionate about the hobby do some amazing work. One guy that I'm extremely impressed with his effort is Jack Riley.
Yeah.
The way he digs in and it just learning like crazy, right? So just because they're not 70 years old or 60 years old or Paula's age, um,
Yeah, stop it.
Nice. Oh, those are fighting words.
Yeah, right?
she knows I'm just kidding.
That's
Um,
right.
but
Does she really?
she does. But just
You're
because
trying
you're
to
not,
start trouble.
just because you're not, in our age group, it doesn't mean that you can't write great material. So I want to be very clear when we're talking about this. Just because we're saying, just because you're not one of the big boys or the big girls, doesn't mean that you can't put out some really decent material doing your own research. You can absolutely do that. It's just use caution when you're finding the definitive guide, right? Or terms where people say, you only saw this here. Bookmark this video. It's a trademark of one of the guys who issues a bunch of crap. Make sure you bookmark this video. You only saw this here.
Yeah.
It's just a ploy. It's just a tactic. It's meant to make you think that you stumbled across the person who's the only one who understands this. Or if people have to display what they know by having certificates and diplomas in the wall behind them. It's one thing if you're a doctor or an attorney. It's another one if you have, I attended this coin show and attended a 2-hour seminar. They gave me a certificate. Now I know everything, so I want to display it for the world to see. So just be leery of those things because a lot of them are tactics meant to deceive and to make you think they know more than they know.
Yeah.
Papa Giorgio says Edge of Tomorrow. You guys remember that movie?
Mm-mm.
Thanks, Papa
I don't.
Giorgio.
Mm-hmm. Good morning, AZ. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, David, there is a lot of really, really bad information out there. A lot. Matt and Mike were talking about that last night. Like, how can we get the good stuff out there? It's like a turd floating in the ocean. You know what I mean? Like, like, um, how do you find the good stuff? There's so much bad stuff out there.
How do you disseminate what's good and what's
Yeah.
bad?
How do you just like decipher what's good and what's bad?
Yeah. Well, and you have that in every industry. I mean, working in the medical field, we have that too, where we have people issue that they've developed a best practice, and it's like, actually, that's one of the worst things you can do. Like, you might think it works for you, but it offers major issues. Or, yeah, you know what, that color marking thing for the dental, yeah, it works. Unfortunately, it's a cancerous agent, so you're required not to utilize that. How do you guys not know this?
Boy, how many kids had that when they were young?
Yeah. Like,
how many people our age? I can remember them giving it out in school. Those little pink pills that turned your teeth pink.
Yeah. And so there are a lot of those things that they were quote unquote best practices because the people just didn't know, or they did know and they hid the information. So it's not just the coin collecting hobby that this affects. Coach, do me a favor. Save that question for a little bit later. We'll tackle that in just a minute. That's a good question.
I'm not tackling that.
What is it?
I definitely am not tackling that. I have no clue how it's going to affect
how
the price
will the
of gold
tariff
and silver.
affect the silver?
Now there are other things like Canada, like nickel maybe. I don't know.
I do
but
believe it actually will. It depends on the source, because right now there's something going on with shipments of gold from London to Canada, but I'm not familiar with the whole details of it. But I think it depends on where the gold comes from, actually.
Well,
Well,
I have no
that does play
clue
a part.
because
Yeah.
I have absolutely no clue, so I won't be in that conversation. I think it's all
And
speculating. I
and the
think
reason I
it
have a clue is I actually watched a
talk
video on it. So who knows how
right.
accurate it is.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Like it's all speculating, and I have a theory about that especially when it
the
comes to our hobby is when you speculate about stuff like that, you can cause people to spend money,
the thing
and
about this wasn't
I'm
about
not
tariffs.
about that.
Yeah, it
I
wasn't. It
am not
wasn't
about
about tariffs. It just happened to be in a video that was, why is there a gold supply shortage? And that's why contract gold is going up in price. It was actually what was causing contract gold to fluctuate so much. And that's what they said. They said these shipments from London to New York City aren't coming. They're not showing up. There's not enough actual physical gold to cover everything. Of course, and we knew that. I mean, we know that with the contract silver too. It's all future silver contracts, supposedly.
I thought it was Tuesday, David. I thought it was Tuesday. I don't know. I don't know. I think anytime there's fear out there, it there's a cause and effect. And I think that this is going to cause a lot of people fear and a lot of people to panic. And I think that more than anything will affect it. I'm not sure that the tariffs themselves. I think it's just the unknown and people being afraid and whatever. I don't know,
I mean,
but
everything's going up in price, and that's not because any change in supply or anything. It's fear. There's a lot of speculation.
mhm.
So that,
And
yeah,
that's exactly what I said.
yeah,
I don't
FOMO's a real
speculate on
thing.
stuff
Yeah.
like that because when you speculate, you can cause fear
What
and you can cause people to spend money that they maybe wouldn't.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
I think
know. You know
silver
what I mean?
closed at 32, 35 Friday.
Well,
Yeah. So,
gold hit an all-time high. I do know
Yep.
that, but
yeah, prices are going to go up. But again, folks, this is the one thing about whenever you're talking about the value of silver or gold, precious metals, whether you're talking about numismatics, it's just like the stock market. Okay. You can listen to 1,000 people and 999 of them will be wrong. And the person who gets it correct may just have gotten lucky. You never know. The important thing about whenever you do this is number one, do your own research and make up your own mind. Okay. Now, we can have conversations. There's zero issue with having conversations. And I have an article up that I was reading because Tiger and I have been talking quite a bit about tariffs, the impact and what happens if they're permanently imposed versus if they're permanently or temporarily imposed versus permanently imposed. A lot of people are saying that it's because of political issues. Just as a reminder, when we're talking about this, that Biden kept a lot of the issues or a lot of the tariffs that were in place from Trump. So it's not necessarily
that's all right.
uh, backed based off of who the president is. Sometimes it is, but not always. And majority of the tariffs are regarding imports, right? And we do this because number one, it drives things back to the U.S. One reason. A lot of the taxes and the tariffs, every country does this. If you're in China, you can't buy an American vehicle because the taxes on it are so high. They force you to buy the Chinese brands, right? We do the same thing. We tax the hell out of certain nations, and their goods. If you're going to buy those goods, they go astronomical through the roof. So what does that do? That builds our
Canada's
economy,
done a
right?
retaliatory
Right.
tariff
And
also. So
ultimately, when you put a tariff on something, if you buy like let's say you buy a cup and it's made in Mexico and there's a 25% tariff and it's a $1 cup, it's going to be $1.25 at the end user.
Yeah.
We're the one that pays for it. Just like when the retaliatory account, says we're not going to allow it, we're going to put a 50% tariff on American goods. They're going to add 50 cents on the dollar to their end user's price. It doesn't actually affect the government at all. It affects the ratio of import export.
Yeah, it's all trade war stuff. And
Yeah.
so when you talk about that again, it's really important. And Paul, I understand exactly what you're saying, but it's very important that people understand. Number one, you're talking to a coin channel. Now, I do a lot of research on this stuff, and I do it because Tiger and I do Stack Collector. We're going to be putting a program together. You guys know that that is something that's coming out actually next week. We're going to drop our first episode. So we've talked a lot about tariffs. We've been doing a lot of financial reviews, and this is so utilizing um, different groups, right, and projections and all this other stuff. Remember that projections are that projections, forecasts are that forecast. You know, my granddad used to say, "Be a weatherman. You can be wrong 50% of the time and still be employed." It's one of the only times that you can really do that outside of financials, right? You have bulls and bears, depending upon what they believe the economy is or what they believe the current climate of the political situation is. You're going to make decisions based off of the uh, the attitude of the person who's making that decision. That's why they're called bulls and bears. So again, do your own research. Make sure you understand. Make sure you look at the information. It's very imperative that you have a full understanding. Don't go into trading stocks if you don't understand the valuation of the company. If you don't understand what they have in stock, if you don't understand the amount of money they have on hand, if you don't understand the political climate of that company or who's coming in or some of the situations
or even their products,
lawsuits. Yeah. So make sure you do your own research. That is ultimately the important piece. Now, but as far as the tariffs go, tariffs can be good and tariffs can be bad. Okay. It depends on one, how they're utilized, and two, what areas and what items do we have in place to cover that particular tariff. For instance, let's say that there's medical equipment that's coming from China and we have this. We know that counterfeit medical equipment, supplies, even medications are between Korea and Japan are extremely, extremely high. They account for, I think it's the first or the second most counterfeit things like cosmetics and medication stuff, right? That's insane. And so you run the risk, and again, this is talking about Paula's concern, you run the risk of people buying them from untrustworthy sources because they can find it cheaper online, right? So you've got to be very careful about that because you don't want to lead people to make decisions or go to places where they can potentially cause themselves harm. So please, whenever you're talking about this stuff, it doesn't matter if you're a financial scholar, it doesn't matter who you are. Make sure people understand, there are other researchers. Don't take my sole opinion on this. Do your research. Number two, evaluate that against what you know about the actors. If it's India, if it's Korea, if it's China, if it's Canada, if it's the UK, it doesn't matter. Find out who the actors are. Number three, look at the political climate. Is this politically engaged or is this something to actually build or grow the U.S.? What's the end point? How does this affect the user? Are we fighting hyperinflation? Are we fighting hypoinflation? Are we fighting deflation? What's the purpose of this and how will it affect?
What is the purpose of this, right? The purpose, from my understanding, the purpose of him doing this is to make us safer.
Exactly. Yeah. So,
well, I think it's
yeah,
to make
Coach,
us more independent on our own.
I heard the Prime Minister of Canada talking last night, and I think he is full of crap when he says that they have the most secure border. I think that is bull crap because people fly into Canada. They may have a secure border as far as people getting into Canada, but people getting out of Canada, they don't care. They could care less. People fly into Canada and they just walk right across the border and come into the States. They could care less. And I think that is what Trump is saying, is that he wants them to be more proactive when it comes to allowing people from into their country and coming into ours from their country.
So again, Coin Junkie said it. I didn't say, hey, what's up, Tiger? Good morning. He gave his position up. He's not worth listening to. There's a lot of people that really just don't like this dude, right? He's cost Canada tons and tons of money, tons and tons of opportunity.
And it's about to get worse, too.
Yeah.
And so it's going to get bad for us.
And Coin Junkie, you and I are on the same page. They're hoping to push that up. And it would be good if they could actually get that approved through the legal confines and get that earlier election. That would be really good because Trudeau needs to be out of there.
And doesn't, so I have
bad
a
for
question
Canada.
for you when it comes to tariffs and like goods that we get.
Yeah.
Say we get a product from China, right? That we also make here in the States, but it's cheaper. Well, you know, the stuff we get from China is cheaper than what we have here in the States. Doesn't that force us to start making more here in the States and
That's
then
what it's all about.
That's the intent right there. Yeah.
forces competition so that the companies that are making a product here in the States, they end up having to lower their prices to
No,
us
we end
because
up
they're
having to pay
competing.
more. And
No,
that,
because they now they compete against each other. They want us to buy if there's 10
yeah,
different companies here in the States making the same product, then now they're competing against each other as opposed to competing against China.
I
So
mean,
aren't
how
they
often
forced
you
to
hear,
lower their prices in competition? Like, does that make any,
yeah, it makes
I don't
sense,
know,
but
sense to me? But
how often do you hear buy American, like cars and stuff
right.
like that?
And we should be.
People still don't. You know why? Because Americans are cheap.
Well, it's not.
We have
It's not. Yeah.
no pride in what we do and what we make. We want the cheapest for the least amount of money. We're a disposable society where we need to be what we used to be and not be a disposable society. You know, buy a TV and maybe have it where you pay big money for it and repair the TV.
Yeah. So when
You
you
know,
talk about TVs, the first thing that comes to my mind is Samsung,
sure.
right?
There are phones, even
Yeah.
an Apple phone. It's made in Taiwan.
Yeah. So but the whole purpose of that is to drive people back to
To
building
U.S. goods.
and putting stuff back into U.S. Right?
And that's what the tariffs will do.
Yeah, and
supposedly.
so that's the primary. So here's some information. I'm just going to read this. Yeah, Tiger, that's what I said. I know you addressed this in your upcoming video. We talked about this, and I called you out on that earlier too. Some of the tariffs. So let's say that scenario one happens. Scenario one, indicating that there is, excuse me, 20% universal tariffs. Okay, and that's one of the things that they've talked about, where it's the 50% tariff on China. They increased that by 5 or 10%. You're talking about 1.3% effect on us because of the tax. So we would see a slight increase, but China would get hit way harder than we would. We would see a small increase overall. Scenario two that is being proposed is a 25% tariff on the imports. And this is including Mexico and China, as well as increasing that for China. Right now, again, they're still talking about that potential of 10% tariff on China to go from 50 to 60% or 48 to 61%. There's kind of a little play area there. So if we look at those two things and we talk about the valuation of money, the hope for this trade piece is that if permanently imposed in scenario one, federal revenue through tax is $3.8 trillion. Now, that is before any what they call retaliation. So that is over a course of, I think it was 8 or 9 years. If they go scenario two, where they do the 25% Canada, Mexico, plus the additional 10% on Canada, it takes us to a $1.2 trillion or a $1 trillion on a dynamic basis before retaliation. And so what does that mean? That means that the average annual increase across the U.S. per household is going to be about $830 on goods over the course of the year. So people are like, oh my God, it's going to increase. Yeah, it's $1,000 a year. So $100 a month. That is going to affect some people, right? It will have impact, but not everybody that is, moderate to low income are going to necessarily be buying those products. So it really depends on the household. It really depends on that retaliation number, and it also depends on what he's going to do with some of the other taxes that are on there. Because remember, they're talking about cutting certain income taxes and stuff like that, right? And I don't know how they're going to manage that. I can't even speak to that. But they're trying to offset some of that. and they're trying to bring those jobs back into the U.S. They're trying to bring those goods back into the U.S. and actually start manufacturing these things here to bolster our economy, right? Because we bring these things back on shore side. I don't know if you guys know this, but in the 80s, about 50% of all the U.S. money, all U.S. currency was offshore. By the time Reagan, early 80s, by the time Reagan got out of office, and who was it, Reagan and then Carter? Who followed up? Who followed Reagan?
Bush.
Bush, thank you. By the time he got out of office, that number had increased. So you're talking about now the total, I think it's like 85% of all U.S. currencies offshore. We need to bring some of that money back. So the worst thing that we can experience, a lot of people are talking about problems with, financial, and yeah, we got a big recession, or we're going to have that. I would rather see hyperdeflation than
no, be
or
careful
hyper.
What you wish for?
Huh?
Hyperdeflation is the worst thing.
No,
that's
why I corrected myself. I would rather see hyperinflation rather than any deflation.
Well, slow deflation would be fine. It has to be controlled. But when you deflate, you create a atmosphere of, we don't want to manufacture any goods. We don't want to sell our food. We don't want to do this because we're not getting the money we should be getting for it.
Yeah, and what Trump has stated about that is if we end up in a deflative state, we'll end up in another 1920s.
And that's what happened in the Great Depression. It was hyperdeflation.
Yep. So, and I said that backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, before I do this, yesterday I also misspoke. I said that I was talking about the Lincoln coin. It wasn't actually Lincoln. It was McKinley. McKinley was 1960, 1970. So I misspoke on that coin. I noticed that this morning when I was going through some stuff. So I want to correct myself there. It was McKinley, not the Lincoln. Lincoln was 1918. 1918. So I apologize for the misspeak there. But so when you're looking at it again, do your own research. Really understand. There's a great think tank that I follow regarding taxes and understanding levies and stuff like that. I do it, one, for work, and I do it, two, just so I have kind of an understanding what's going on. Really started reading more about it when Tiger and I started talking about, one, the video that he's putting out. Tiger, when are you dropping that video, by the way? I've seen a couple other people talk about it. I think Mad Stacker just dropped a video on it as well. Salivate Metal has dropped video on it. Yankee and Tim have talked about it. So there's a lot of people talking about this particular item. But do your research. Right? We can tell you all that we want, but again, just even looking in chat, people have differences of opinion based off of their understanding of things. But do your own research. Ultimately, and the decision is yours, right? So I will not tell you buy. I will not tell you sell. That is not, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't have that authority over your finances. You make those decisions.
And through all this stuff we're talking about, remember, whether you agree or disagree, that's what makes this country great, is we can agree and disagree, and we're supposed to still make things work.
Right. That's
been the little caveat that hasn't worked out so well the last 15 or 20 years.
Yep.
But that's how it's supposed to go. I mean, whether you like President Trump or you don't, he's the president, so you should like him because he's the president. So, I mean, that's my opinion on it. There's been a lot of presidents that I didn't vote for, but I always supported them fully when they're president, because I'm an American. That's what I do.
I was taught years and years ago by my grandfather. My grandfather was enlisted. He was always extremely well respected, both in the enlisted corps and in the officer corps. He had good value. Simon Sinek, I don't know if you know who Simon Sinek is, talks about the SEAL team and how the SEAL team chooses people. High trust, doesn't matter if you're a moderate or low performer. High trust is important. And my grandfather used to always tell me, it doesn't matter if you like the person in the uniform, respect the uniform. Doesn't matter if you like the person in the position, respect the position. You can deal with the person, but always understand the position that they're in. And so, again, you don't have to like who the president is, but the president's president. So make your decision, make your determination. You don't have
And
to
do your
like what
best
he
to
says,
support
but
what you can support within
yeah,
it. You don't have to like everything he does, but
nope,
everything he does isn't going to be terrible.
yeah. So
Just like Joe Biden, everything he did wasn't terrible. Like you say, keeping the Trump tariffs. A lot of Trump supporters never even knew that happened, but it did.
good
He kept
morning,
the
Israel.
tariffs on China.
Yeah,
Uh,
and Biden kept in a majority of the tariffs that Trump put in place.
that's right. And another thing, he tried to pass the immigration bill that Donald Trump wanted, but the Republican houses wouldn't support it because they didn't want him to get credit for it.
No,
Well,
it's because of
yeah,
all the
it's
fluff
true.
that was. It's because of all of the nonsense that was attached.
Oh, and I'm
inside
sure
that
they
bill.
added fat. I mean, you know how
They
that goes.
added a ton of crap for Ukraine.
But is that bad? I mean,
Yeah, it was
people,
bad.
but why is it bad? You know what that in Ukraine is all about. Most of the money we gave them is just old weapons we were going to pay to destroy anyways. I'm not supporting either side because I think war is a terrible thing.
We've given them enough money.
But there's a reason they're doing it. And you can watch a lot of political stuff, even military websites. They'll tell you that a lot of this is in preparation for what's coming to Taiwan from China. They want to know
We were
what
giving
stuff
them money
like
way
that does and
before
how
that.
their weapons react and how stuff like that goes. And it's easier to do it without, I guess they don't want the Americans dying.
A lot of that money didn't go to Ukraine.
Oh, well, I'm sure it never does. Even if you send it to Doctors
that's
Without
why
Borders,
that's why
half
they
the money
didn't-
goes
that's why
into
they-
somebody's pocket.
That's why they didn't pass that bill, though, Eric. It was all the fluff that was inside.
Right,
that
but
bill.
my thing
they
was,
would not. They
is
would
the
not.
intention.
They refused to write one up that was strictly a border bill.
But my point of the matter is he supported stuff. They both support. I mean, you see Jimmy Carter's funeral. Donald Trump and Obama were very friendly, laughing and joking. They don't hate each other. It's politics when you see all this stuff, them talking about each other and this and that. It's all made to incite their base. Here's a thing I didn't know. George H.W. Bush and Obama are 10th cousins.
We didn't start that war.
Can you believe that?
Who? What?
Obama is related to the Bush family. You didn't hear the Bushes come out and say, oh, yeah, he's a citizen. He's related to us. That's why at the funeral, because Bush doesn't like anybody, the only person he actually greeted was Obama. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Just because you hear something doesn't mean, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of things that each side supports. They just don't want the other side to get credit for it. It's a big game.
No, stop that, Azure. Putin started that war, though.
Paula and I are 10th cousins, right?
We might be.
Hey, you never know.
Might be. You never know. You never know.
Very distant relative. I mean, I can't even tell how many generations apart that would be. I don't even know. I just heard it in, of all things, it was on a site that was a lip reading site. And they were trying to find out what they were talking about. And then, of course, it got into how different lip readers see different words differently and that it's not an exact science. So they had 3 different lip readers say what they were talking about. And you could come to the conclusion that they were just jesting around, basically talking about somebody's something in some bio that this person went to this school. And they were like, you know, what is that school? They were kind of laughing about the school. But everybody's was different. So, and then they brought that up. They were like talking about body language and this and that. And they were like, how come he just did this? And then the one guy says, that's because they're actually related very, very far apart, but they actually are. And they're good friends. And I had heard that Bill Clinton was actually very good friends with George Bush, the senior Bush.
He likes the Bush.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you see these guys talking about each other in politics going, he's this and he's doing this and it's terrible. They're doing that just to incite their base and support their base. That's not how they actually feel. So make your own opinion up. That's what I'm saying. And don't be afraid to say, hey, this ain't going to be so bad.
Yeah, Coach, I agree with you. The North American trade war, it kind of sounds funny even saying it, but
it does.
Yep. Make sure you guys are smashing that like button, please.
Well,
Thanks for being here.
all I can say is that when Putin first invaded Ukraine, right? I mean, he's done it 3 times before or whatever. He did it under.
Well, he did it once.
He did it under Obama. He did it under Bush. He did it under Clinton. He didn't do it under Biden. He didn't do it under Trump, but
he wanted to.
What's up, Joe?
But and I am not, right. He wanted to, but he didn't. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't help them at all. I am not saying that at all.
Well, it actually looks like Trump's going to keep helping them. I mean, that is actually the writing on the wall right now. That's what's going to happen.
Anyway, okay, I'm out of this conversation.
Yeah, we shouldn't be talking. We were talking coins, but it was from the silver thing. This all came up.
I'm just out of this conversation.
Yeah, just make up your mind. It doesn't matter. We can all disagree and still, love each other.
If you think for 1 second that all of that money that we sent,
I don't think that any money that's given away, like I said, they could give $1 billion to Doctors Without Borders and half the money would go in somebody's pocket.
I want to know why we were the ones given most of the money. That's what I want to know.
Well, the same situation happened with WHO, right? The World Health Organization. Yep. Yeah. So again, this isn't tied to specific countries. It's number one. I'll tell you what it boils down to. If you guys want honest to God truth, outside of politics, it comes down to lack of fiscal responsibility
and greed. Somebody's greedy and
all
knows
it
that
comes
they
down
can get
to.
away with
Well, it may have something to do with Putin's mental instability.
Well, no, but see, here's the thing.
And him being completely power hungry.
But the thing is, we get news. We don't even know that that's the real news.
Oh, he's batshit crazy. Come on.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying, but we're not getting that, right from the Kremlin, right from his doctor that this has happened. It's somebody that's like, Briscoe, whatever, vodka man or whatever, broadcasting on some YouTube channel that says this is what's happening. So, I mean, the news is only as good as it's given to us.
Well, and the news is taught from the person,
from a perspective,
there's the political perspective that's going on in that particular area. And we learned this. We talked about Fox News and them coming out saying we're really no longer a news agency. We're more of an entertainment industry.
There's a lot of them like that now.
Yeah. And so there's very specific information that has to be done. I love Joe Rogan's podcast.
His are kind of neat, aren't they?
Huh?
I like his podcast too.
He does. He has a really fun podcast. And again, I'm not a sponsor. Hey, if Joe wants to sponsor me, that'd be great.
Well, that's my thing. I watch it all and make your own decisions when you watch it all. But a lot of people don't watch anything except for stuff that fits what they want to hear.
Yeah. Well, and again, when you're talking about media conglomerations, you also have to understand that if you find out who their parent company is, and then you're going to understand the bend of that news channel based off of who their parent company is, because they're given a specific agenda, right? We know this. This is nothing new. If you don't know that, folks, you need to start looking into where the majority of major companies lie in the political stream. And if you start understanding who the parent companies are, you'll understand where their news is leaning towards.
Can I give a source that's very interesting? I don't say that they're the only source or they're the right source, but if you want to see something interesting, go to Ground News. And it puts a lot of political skewed news in perspective. Because it will take a story and break it down into 250 different stories from 250 different sources. Some will lean left, some will be centrist, some will lean right. and they'll get down into breaking down the facts, and it's just like you can't believe that they're all telling the same story, but they are. They're just omitting stuff to make it fit their narrative.
Right. Good
Well,
morning, Jack.
Here's
Hope you're doing
another
well, bud.
probably unpopular opinion that I'm going to give you guys of mine, because I have unpopular
That's right.
opinions oftentimes, and I'm going to give you my unpopular opinion. I think we should have given them F-15s right out the get, and it would have been over a lot quicker.
You're right. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think the end game was over quick.
We have slowly creeped in, given them a little weapon here, little weapons there, we are involved, whether people want to believe we're involved or not. We are militarily involved, and we could have hit them hard, given them F-15. Those pilots know how to fly them. We absolutely could have given them
F-16s anyways, not F-15s.
Well, whatever, F-16s or F-15s. It didn't, I mean, either way.
But you're not wrong. Like I said, I don't think the thing was them ever wanting it to be over fast. I mean,
well, I can't speculate about that.
No, I can't either. But
I think that anybody who doesn't want something to be over fast is
wrong.
I mean,
I agree with you, but I think a lot of it was data mining.
Yeah, so, let's do this though. Let's go ahead and stop the political.
Yes.
We went on a 30-minute political
I'm all about that. Yes,
me
please.
too.
Yeah, we went on a 30-minute political rant.
Anyway, there you go. You see how silver can change.
Let's
yeah. And
all
again,
I know when it comes to silver and gold is I want it to go down so I can buy more.
So you can
and
buy more.
I did hear something interesting on Matt and Mike's last night, that now is a good time to buy pre-33 gold if you want to buy gold.
They have been saying that for weeks. For almost 3 weeks now, there's been a lot of people saying 33 gold's the way to go, pre-33 gold.
Tiger got the opportunity to talk to a lady named Lynette Zhang. I don't know if you guys know who she is. And she's been staunch on that for quite some time, that pre-33 gold. And I've told Tiger, ask Tiger, Tiger's still in chat. I always say the same thing. If I'm going to buy gold, I'm going to be buying pre-33. Now, if I can find a really nice piece of bullion where it's more gold for the same price, okay, I might consider that. But I definitely want
not yet. I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Ukraine. Yeah, you know. Anyway, I don't want to get back into that. Azure, hush. Don't make me read stuff because I'll come up with something. Anyway. Yeah, let's talk about coins. Talk about coins.
So, Darren, not everybody likes Lynette, and that's fine. But again, when we're talking about that particular Ben, she's really big on that. But yeah, so if I'm going to get gold, and this is one thing, and Tiger and I have talked about this a lot, is I would prefer pre-33. Now, I like pre-33 because of two things. Number one, pre-33 allows you the opportunity to have not only the numismatic aspect of the coin, but it also allows you the gold aspect, right? So, in my personal opinion, and again, you have a greater protection in pre-33 gold than you do in regular bullion, because you have that numismatic value. And numismatic value will go up and down. But you do have that numismatic value to help offset some of the drops.
But not as much.
Not as much, but there's still a little bit of cushion there.
Stable. And that's why it's a good time to buy it, because you're getting to where the premium now is becoming equal to the melt value. And so it's a good time to buy it now. Because then even if the melt value goes down, that premium is still there.
Yeah, silver still a really good buy, even at 32. Because again, if you're looking at things like the gold to silver ratio, silver still, even though pre-33 might be a good buy, silver's still the better buy if you're looking at valuations. So,
I think doesn't that depend? Like, I mean, I don't know shit about that kind of stuff. I really don't. I deal in coins, but isn't it, don't you want to wait and watch how the market does over a period of time? Like, is 30 going to be the bottom, the new bottom now? Like, because if that's the case, then I would say, why not buy it if 30 is going to be the new bottom? But I would probably wait just to make sure that it's not going to
So
You know,
I'm not talking
come
about.
down and then 25 is the new bottom. You know what
Yeah,
I
I'm not
mean?
talking about the spot price. Spot price, they'll
Oh,
go up
I
and down,
see.
right? And that happens. Buy low, sell high. It doesn't matter what industry you're talking about. That's what your end goal should be. Buy low, sell high. But if you look at the gold to silver ratio or the GSR, as you'll hear stackers call the GSR, that's what they're talking about. That gold to silver ratio. That tells you how much silver to gold. So, how many ounces of silver would you need per ounce of gold? And
Hmm.
so, in this case, right now, I think we're still sitting around. And stackers, Tiger, if you're in here, help me with that number. But I think we're like almost 82 or 83, 79, 79 to 82 to one. Um, when you start getting down into the 60 to one, maybe a little bit lower, then gold will be a better buy, right? But at this point, silver, I mean, even though pre 33 might be a good buy, it's still silver still for potential upside and things like that is still 80 to 90. Thanks, Tiger. I knew it's somewhere in that area, but yeah, it's a pretty good swing. But silver still, if you look at valuation, you look at what it is, you look at that gold to silver ratio, silver's still the better buy. Doesn't mean don't buy gold. You can absolutely buy gold, and ultimately make your decision. But silver's still a good buy, even at 32.
I don't
Silver's
know,
still a good buy.
Azure. Send me one and I'll tell you. Yeah, I probably will never own a large. I talk about buying pre 33, but I'm more of a gram type. I'm on a gram budget. I'm on a 1 gram budget.
Of all the gold I
Um,
have, and I don't have very
but
much,
some of them are so beautiful.
most
They're
of it's
like,
pre 33. I do have uh, one ship coin that's gold, thanks to Tiger. Tiger bought me that. I do have one Britannia. I do have maple, but these are all 10th ounce, right? They're all
I know another one you have.
the ship coin. Oh yeah, that's
I
the
sold it to you.
Coral Sea. Yeah,
I sold it to you.
I know you did. I
Yeah.
snuck it out from Chief. Made a video about it.
You did. You sure did. Right out from
Yeah,
under
that
his
was
nose.
hey Chief.
News you lose.
Oh yeah, I talked to Chief the other day. Um,
No. He's
so
having a
keep
rough
keep
go of
them
it
in your
right now.
prayers.
Yeah.
So,
Having a
but
rough go.
yeah, it's I don't have a ton, but again, it's just one of those things that I like the numismatic value. I'm not going to tell you that that's what you're supposed to buy. I mean, again, do your own research, buy what works for
Now I
you.
was just gonna give you guys a little PSA off the subject of gold. Just because somebody says that a coin is worth a ton of money doesn't make it true. I don't care how many subscribers they have.
There you go. That is
That's
true.
all. That's all. That is all.
Silver
And
spur.
just because somebody owns error coins does not mean they know about error
So
coins.
Silver Spur said something, and I want to key in on that. Okay, Silver Spur. Oh my God. Silver Spur said, if it doesn't speak to me, I don't buy it. Coin Show
That's
podcast
right.
last night said the exact same thing.
Yeah.
If you're looking at a coin and it's like, oh wow, that is nice. You know what? You might consider
Love it.
doing that. Now, I don't mean ooh shiny. Yeah, that's not the
Mm.
same thing. I'm talking about looking at a coin. If it really strikes you, then definitely say, hey, that might be something I want to look at for having in my collection or in my stack. But don't buy all that's shiny, right? Because that's where
Yeah.
Tiger and I have talked a lot about when we first started, and the one thing Tiger and I both made the mistake of doing was buying the really cool, overpriced, shiny, new, colorized, whatever at a crazy price because we were like, oh, it's silver. I got to have it. Oh my God, look at that pretty coloring. I've got to have it. and it just became stupid buying.
Everybody does.
Be careful with that, right? Make your decision, and I've said this before. If you're going to go buy a coin, if you're going to go pick up a coin, pick it up because you like it, but do your research before you buy it. Understand what the coin is, understand what you're looking for, so that you can protect yourself from, counterfeits and things like that. So, but yeah, let the coin speak to you. Sometimes I've got to have all of these. Well, how many people have collected the entire set because they had to do it, but then they never ever look at them, just because they had to be a completionist, right? So, and if you're going to buy sets, this is Frosty's opinion and Frosty's opinion only. Buy the key date first. Because there's nothing more frustrating than getting to the end and you have 2 holes in your book and you can't buy them because they're too expensive.
Yeah.
Still looking for that 16D, are you?
I am. Me gave me a hard time because me picked one up. But yeah, and again, it's just one of those things. I just finished my my Peace Dollar book, right? Did an upgrade of my 1921 working with ashes, and again, do what you like. I love my Peace Dollar, so I continuously trying to upgrade, sell a couple coins just to pay for the upgrade, or trade a couple coins just to get a newer coin. Do that stuff, right? But yeah, it's again, just do what you like. Don't do it because everybody else is doing it. Even though you're storing money and it's a good way to preserve wealth, you can way overspend. So be careful doing that too.
Yep. It's really easy.
Bought a 10th ounce gold dog for the wifey. Oh, that's cool. He also bought her a Valentine's gift with skulls on it. So,
I want a $10 Indian. That's what I want.
I don't have anything above. Well, I take that back. I have 1 gold maple that is a 1/4 ounce. Other than that, I don't have anything big. It's all $1. I have 1 $3 princess coin, but they're all small.
Yeah, I think all the gold I have are 10th ounce pandas.
Yeah, I don't have very much gold.
Yeah, me neither. Never have the liquid cash to just go out and buy a bunch of gold.
Yeah, my problem is that it's like, okay, so I have $600 to purchase a piece of gold, and it's like, do you know how many coins I can upgrade? I have such a hard time pulling the plug on gold. I love it. Don't get me wrong, but it's hard.
Might have bought 10 pieces of silver in the last 5 years. It's usually because it has like space or airplane, like stuff like that on it. Something I like.
Yeah.
Most of the silver I have stacked, I bought literally in 2000, 2001.
Or after I made the recommendation and you went out and bought
That's what I'm saying. Spaceships, and because I love that stuff.
I remember Eric called me and he's like, "You suck. You made me spend money."
There you go, right there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece, man. I love that piece. Your light's a little bit too bright. It's washing out.
Yeah, it's because I got the light in here in my room. I've been doing photography while we talk.
But it's an amazing piece. Where's the best place to buy a gold Indian?
Wow.
A coin show?
Yeah, a coin show probably.
Or a coin club if you have a coin club. I don't know, but coin show.
Reputable dealer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and do your research. Understand what the prices for them are in the various grades.
I like coin shows because you can shop around.
Yeah. And if you get somebody that really wants to buy it, you can use other dealers' prices to negotiate. So Silver Mountain says he was lucky enough to buy, or she, I don't know, Silver Mountain, but lucky enough to buy a Mexican 50 peso. That's very nice.
You got to be careful with pawn shops, Tiger. You probably have a really good one, but you got to be
Tiger
careful
has an
with
amazing
pawn
one.
shops. Yeah, you have to be. He's lucky.
Yeah,
You really
he's
have to
very
be
lucky
careful
in
with
that
pawn
regard.
shops.
A lot of pawn shops don't know what they have, but he has a very, very good one. He's fortunate in that regard.
Yeah.
Dad, what's going on? He says that $5 gold Indians are the most beautiful. You know, there's a couple gold coins.
I like the
I'm
$10
partial.
Indian.
Yeah, I'm partial
Pardon
to
me.
ships. I love my ships.
Oh,
Paula
$10.
knows this. Tiger knows this. I love my ships. So any kind of ship coin for me is a beautiful coin, right? But when you're talking about designs, there's a couple different designs that I think are really nice, and most of them are so far beyond my price range, it's not even funny.
But I do love the gold buffaloes too.
The gold buffaloes, they're really, really nice. I like
I really like those.
I
They're
like
a
the
little
princess.
Mercury dimes, but
I like the $3 princess coins. I think they're really cool.
I don't like those. I think it looks like a pork roast on her head. You know the crown roast that you can buy?
Well, and that's why
That's
you
what
got
it
to
looks like on her head. I
the
can't get
Type
that on
3.
my head.
The Type 3 is better than the Type 1 and 2 because they're too big and they sit too far forward. They look horrible.
I can't get it out of my head when I see those. That's a
So
pork roast.
on those, the type does matter for aesthetics, but I do like those. The other one that I really like, and again, it's just
A rack-a-lamb.
it's a very good design, and that is the Una and the Lion from the Royal Mint. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous coin.
Yeah, I like the gold buffalo.
And then my favorite gold coin of all time is it's a Canadian ship coin, and it's phenomenal. So, but again, I can't say that. My favorite gold coin is Roman. It's a Caesar, but that one coin is worth like
Well, they
$750,000.
say if you really want to buy gold coins for the gold, to buy like Mexican gold. That's what I've heard.
But there's
Are
such
they
a premium
24
on
karat, Ezra? I
Libertad
thought
that
they
it's
were
insane.
999 or 99. I thought they were 99 gold. Is that 24 karat? I don't know. I thought they were. I don't know. 24 karat, isn't that awfully soft?
It is soft. That's the gold buffaloes. They scratch very, very easy. So if
I
you're
thought
going to
they
be
were
stacking those, it's
99,
best
like-
you stack those in tubes.
But is that the same thing as 99.9? Is that the same thing as 24 karat?
No, that's just the purity of the gold. Yeah.
So I think what she's saying, would 9.999, would that be 23.99 carat?
No, it's still 24 karat gold.
Okay, so it's just all right. I gotcha.
Yeah. No, it's just the purity of the gold. Usually you're going to be,
I don't know. I like them though.
yeah.
That
'Cause
was
you
a
can
regret
have-
I had when they first came out. I should have bought into them then because they were real affordable at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, they're really. I saw one in Tulsa a couple years ago when they did the release when we were there, and I've never seen one in person. The proof,
Which one is that
and
one?
it just was the buffalo, the proof buffalo in Tulsa a couple years ago that the mint had. Maybe it was last year.
They're
Might have
good
been
looking.
last year. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was last year because last year was the first year that they had the mint at the Tulsa show. But yeah, it was really pretty.
Yeah, Chad, that's what I said. If you're gonna stack those, you definitely want to have it encapsulated because they're very, very soft. They damage very easy. Yeah.
Just walk across Mexico and buy them, no tax. Yeah, the gold pesos. That's what I heard, Inkman, that those are.
Yeah,
those are
as your
really
I
good
love the
in
Una and the
gold.
Lion gold coin. There's just something about that is really nice. Actually, I like a lot of the royal. So there's actually some very, 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 very high end Royal Mint stuff. like crazy high end, and
I
it's
won't
in
be
their
able to show
prestige
them.
collection or whatever that is. And they have some amazing stuff. I'm not talking about the eccentric, high end, crazy stuff. Just their normal runs. It's just a good looking gold coin. But again, you give me anything. If you give me the opportunity, you lay 10 gold coins in front of me. There's a pre 33 and a ship coin. I'm going to battle between the pre 33 and the ship coin. Doesn't matter what the rest of them are. I know what I like, right? I'm
Yeah,
going to
well,
stack and collect what I
that's
like.
the beauty of this
Yeah,
hobby, right?
yeah.
Um, you stack generic crap or whatever you want for if you want to just stack stuff. If you want to collect stuff, then you collect what catches your eye and what you love. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck like me with a bunch of Tupperware containers and boxes and crap full of crap that I bought early on that and I hoarded and I don't have a clue what to do with it now. And I never look at it. I haven't looked at it in 6 years. But I think we all have something like that. But
That's cool it's cool stuff. I'm going to pull up a coin.
the only thing I'm getting from the US Mint this year, Azure, is the women's quarters because I do those. I've done them from the beginning and I'm a completionist. I probably will buy the uncirculated sets, but I'm not sure that I'm even going to turn on buy the proof sets this year because they're just outrageous. The prices are outrageous.
The prices are
But
ridiculous.
yeah, but I am going, and it just kind of it upsets me. And what they did last year to us as collectors just really burnt me. And so, but I do the women's quarters, so I do the 3-roll set, and then I always get a bag of the Philadelphias, so I can search them, and then I spend them. I lose a little bit, but I just spend them. But yeah, I have the 3-roll sets, and really the only one in the 3-roll sets I care about is the S Mint. So,
This is one of my favorite ship coins right here.
oh, that's pretty. I like the water.
Yeah,
Water's
it's
really
just
pretty.
very well done. You
Mhm.
have a
The
very light
clouds.
background. You see the little like
Mhm.
mountainous scene, the cloud scene in the back, and you have the birds coming in. The ships are very nicely done. It's just a beautiful piece.
Yeah,
Um,
really nice
I
detail on
love
that.
my ships, but this is one of my favorite gold coins. Very good piece.
Very pretty stuff last year. The women's quarters before 3-roll bag. Yeah, I gotta finish it. Right, this is the last year, so I gotta finish it. And then I don't know what I'm gonna do with them, Azure. To be honest with you, like I probably will just sell them because I could care less about them. Um,
How many
I
are
think
there?
with they started in 2022, I think. 22, 23, 24, 20. Yeah, so it's a 4-year program. This last year. 2026 will be the semi-quincentennial coins, and then 2027 will be youth sports. Um, yeah, and you can go vote on which youth sports you want them to include. So those will be from 2027 to 2030, I believe.
I can tell you one of them that is going to be. Um,
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I probably will sell them.
I watch Texas legislation a lot. I watch the bills that are coming out, and Senator Ted Cruz has done quite a bit with baseball. A lot of
Hmm.
stuff. There's a lot of stuff coming out regarding certain sports.
Well, I was thinking, and I'm like, okay, if there's 5 designs per year, and I believe it's a 4-year program. How in the what youth sports besides football, basketball, baseball, um, gymnastics?
Track and
Like
field.
track and field. I'm trying to. Are they going to do like all
Golf.
like different track and field? Like,
Well, you got the
you know,
decathlon. If they do the decathlon, you
well,
got 10 different
it's
sports
youth
there.
sports. It's youth sports.
Yeah, they do decathlon in high schools.
See, and I don't think of high school as like youth. I think of like little league and but maybe
Yeah,
our high
there's
school
so
doesn't.
many. Um, there's if you do track and field, you can
Men's
come up
track,
with
swimming, yeah,
a great
swimming.
number of them. 'Cause you got marathon running where you could do the one where the guy that first broke the 4 minute
They'll
mile.
probably
You
do
got
like break dancing. I
modern
could see the
dance.
U.S. lawn darts.
Yeah, modern dance. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Rock'em Sock'em robots. I could see the U.S. Mint doing something
Now, I'll
stupid.
tell you right now, I think that would be a fun series to have like old
Like
games,
games,
like
Monopoly,
Operation
and yeah,
and the Rock'em
Operation stuff like
Sock'em
that.
and
That would
Hungry
be a
Hungry
fun.
Hippo.
That
That'd
would
be
be
fun as
fun.
hell because there's so many people that collect those old types of things. I think that would be a
hmm
funny series.
Be a lot better than DC comics that everybody and their brother has already done for a
Yeah,
million years.
I'm not even going
Mm-mm.
to go there. Anyway, as far as the quarters go, the reason I was asking how many in each year, you could create specific tubes. You could set them up in tubes and then just sell them by the tube. Because if there's 4 years at 5 coins per year, that's 20 coins. That's a roll of quarters.
Mm, 5 PDS. That's 15, right? PDS times 5. 3 times 5. 15.
I thought it was 4 years, 5 per year.
For 4 years, 5 per
So
year.
you do like all the D's in one, all the P's in one, all the S in one, and you
Mm.
could do one entire set. That makes sense?
Yeah. But I'm not doing that. Somebody else can do that. I'm just probably going to finish buying the sets and then just sell them for a few bucks over what I paid. And because, that for people, especially for people that, because there are people that collect the S Mint business strike quarters from 2012. They actually minted those. San Francisco minted business strike quarters starting in 2012 up until present and probably beyond. They'll probably do it. They'll continue doing it. So for people that they'll have to buy the whole set because I'm not going to break the sets up unless they want to buy just the S Mint roll for what I paid for all three. Then they can do. I'll sell it that way. But I'm not losing money on them. That's for sure. The only one I will be losing money on is the box of the first one. I think it was the Maya Angelou was the first one released, and I believe that was the only one I didn't get, and I had to buy that box from Kevin. I paid. I'll never get my money back on those. Was it Sally Ride? Might have been Sally Ride, Azure. Could have been Sally Ride. Maybe you're right. Um, but it was the first one, and I didn't get it from the mint. And they sold out because everybody wanted the 3-roll set, the S Mint. Right, Sally, right. Yeah, and I paid way too much, but not at the time. At the time, it was a good price because, like I said, they sold out, and everybody was, you know, all gung ho about getting the 3-roll set. Um, so there's that.
You
That
know
was my.
the only coin, well, I shouldn't say the only coin. There's going to be there's going to be 3 coins that I'm going to be purchasing this year from the mint.
I'm not buying any except for
I'm
these
going to be
quarters.
picking up the is it
The
Is it this
Navy
year?
ASE.
Huh?
Did you say the
The
maybe?
the Navy ASE.
Yeah, that's going
The
to be one of
ASE with
them.
the Navy privy.
Yeah, that's going to be one of them. I'm going to be picking up the what the hell, the Navy ship coin, the Arkansas, USS Arkansas, and then the space shuttle.
Mm. Oh, on the innovation
The
dollar.
innovation dollars. Those are the
Yeah,
three.
those are cool.
They
They are
are
cool.
extremely well done. They
Just
are
buy the
things that I
set.
love.
Just buy the reverse proof set.
Say again?
I would just buy the reverse proof set on those innovation dollars. That's what I would buy. I think those reverse proofs are cool as heck, and I really do like. Well, I like. Is it 4? I like 3 of the 4 designs on them.
Yeah, that might actually be, yeah, because there's 2 of the 4 I really 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 like. The other one is I wouldn't mind having it, but it's just one of those things.
Mm.
So that may actually be the thing that I do, but it is going to be that Navy
Mhm.
ASE. Yeah, that's going to be the other one. That's it. That's the only things that I'm planning on buying from the mint. And I probably won't even buy them from the mint. I'm just going to get them. Because the prices are just through the roof this year. It's like, what the
I
hell?
didn't buy any of those, Azure. I didn't buy any of those. I didn't buy the Air Force medal because they had the core values in the wrong order, and that mattered to me. It's always
Integrity always comes
integrity
first.
first. Yeah.
Always. Yep.
And they didn't have it that way, and that matters to me. So yeah, it just really bugged me, so I didn't buy it. And I told them I went when Shay and I went and talked to the people at the. Of course, they were nobodies. The people at the from the Mint at the Tulsa show last year, they were just salespeople. But we did complain to them. She's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, I put the core values in the wrong order."
And somebody had to notice that. I mean, it's how many military people probably work at the Mint.
Well, the thing is that's not the Mint that has anything to do with the design, though. It's
Right.
so maybe the people,
But before they go
that approve the design don't. I don't know.
manufacturing coins, you would think that they would look at the design and say, "Hey, you got to change this."
Yeah, you would think.
You would think.
So, well, Azure Blue. So I actually would love to do that, but it's a paid position, and and first and also I am truly 100% Service Connect disabled, and I don't know when I'm going to spend a week in bed, and that's just a fact. And so that's the main reason why I can't work. I never know when I'm going to be, have an episode. So, flare. Now my disability from the military has nothing to do with why I am presently what really I yeah, anyway, you don't need to know all that. I know I am a big whiny baby, but I do have a cutoff. There are things I won't talk about. Anyway.
I just found a gold coin I like. I didn't even know existed.
What is it?
It is the
No, Congress does not have to vote on them, Starika.
no.
They don't.
Congress puts out what the requirements of the coin is.
Not on the metals.
No, that's determination of the mint.
The metals is the mint director has carte blanche when it comes to the metals.
Yeah. So, Paula, it's the 1926 gold semi-quincentennial.
The 1926 2026 semi-quincentennial?
1926 gold America semi-quincentennial.
Oh, I don't remember seeing that.
I didn't either, but I'll pull it up. Hold on. I was like, ooh, me like.
I went to the semi-quincentennial of the Carson City Mint. That was a fun time. That was a lot of fun. It was very cool. Just show a picture. Yeah, he will. Punch him anyways. That's right, Starika. Knock him out. Can you guys hear can you hear my grandchild yelling?
Of course.
Of course you can.
But we don't.
I even have earbuds in today, and you can still hear them.
At your house.
I'm going a little nuts. They came home a day early. Lucky me.
Well, they missed.
It was good while it lasted. I did see a good show though. I went to the movies Friday and I saw Companion. It actually was pretty good. It was pretty good.
You go to the movies quite a bit, don't you?
I go to the movies a couple times a week if there's something for me that I want to see. Yeah, I like the movies. I probably won't go half as much when they move out.
You can just get it in your house and sit there and watch.
It's kind of just for a way for me. That is pretty for me to get away. Yeah, that is really pretty.
Isn't that a good looking coin?
Yeah, but 1776 to 1920. Is that the semi-quincentennial? Maybe it is. What is a semi-quincentennial? 200 years?
No, that's bicentennial.
Oh, sesquicentennial.
Thank you.
Sesquicentennial.
Sesquicentennial. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I said that wrong.
Yeah. I was
sesquicentennial.
Yeah. Sesquicentennial. That is
sorry,
cool.
That's my bad. I said that wrong.
150. Thank you.
Yeah, the semis this year.
150.
26.
Yeah, the semi-quincentennial.
That's next year. Yeah.
Is next year.
I had that on my brain. I just read this word wrong.
It's the
sesquicentennial.
Sesquicentennial. It's a
sesquicentennial.
Sesquicentennial. Yeah, not the sesquicentennial. Sesquicentennial. That's what I went to Carson City. It's a
beautiful piece.
Yeah. Anyway, it's that thing.
Yeah, this. And it's $2.50.
That is pretty.
I like that piece.
Yeah, so if you want to, if you're talking gold commems, there are some very pretty gold commems.
The reverse, let me show you. There you go.
Yeah. Is that San Diego? Is that the bell tower? The San
Philadelphia.
Diego bell tower? Oh, is it Philadelphia?
That's
wait. Doesn't that look like that? Looks a lot like the bell tower in San Diego.
Well, let me see. Hold on just a sec. Let me make sure I'm not saying this incorrectly.
No, you're probably correct.
Independence Hall.
Philadelphia.
Independence Hall.
Independence Hall. Yeah. Same thing that's on the back of the
50-cent piece.
Franklin. Yeah, the Franklins. Right. Or not the Franklins, the
Kennedy Bicentennial.
Kennedy Bicentennial. There you go. Hi, Chihuahua.
Chihuahua's right.
Get your stuff straight, Frosty.
Sesquicentennial.
Sesquicentennial. Yeah.
Sesquicentennial.
I didn't even know that one existed. Like that's a beautiful coin.
Independence. Yeah, pretty.
It really is a beautiful piece. Great example of dyewear too.
Pretty. Is that the same thing that? Anyway, I need to just shut up because I'm trying to think of where I've seen that Liberty before depiction.
Hey, as you're more than welcome to bin this for me. I have no problem.
Somebody's messaging somebody. Ding. Tell Paula to shut up. They're saying, okay.
Yeah. Very cool. No, I just happened to come across that. I was pulling something else up, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know this coin existed. It's a good piece. I was trying to pull up another gold coin that I was referencing, and
yeah, go to PCGS and look through the gold commandments. There's some.
yeah, by John Sinek. So. Well, I have forgot about the Panama Pacific as far as my favorites in gold coins, but I need to be realistic. Is that Panama Pacific octagonal coin's amazing. Too much fun. Well, do you guys have any questions today that we can ask? We are almost at time today. You guys have anything you want to chat about in the last 10, 15, 20 minutes?
Wow, that went by fast today.
It was a great conversation. I think the political discussion threw us off time, though.
It did.
It went really
fast. I'm having
fast.
an argument right now. 100% business strike.
And folks, make sure you're smashing that like button for me, please.
If you disagree.
Yoksnav says the
then
sound is better
what?
over here. Well, that's really strange because they both come through the same
Believe
channel.
they are.
Maybe it's a
I'm
YouTube
having
thing.
Maybe.
I'm having an argument on Facebook.
Oh, yay.
I am. So this guy, this person has a 79 or an 81 Philadelphia Susan B. Anthony coin, right? And on the flip, she wrote rare.
Nope.
And I said, well, that's basically what I said. I said, it's a normal circulated business strike, and the coin had been circulated. May not have been intended to be circulated, but it was circulated. It is circulated. It's a normal circulated business strike SBA. This guy comes at, there were no business strikes for 1981 dollar coins. They appeared in mint sets and or proof sets exclusively. Okay. The coins in the mint sets are business strike. That's my argument. 100% the coins in mint
absolutely.
sets are business strike.
Yep.
He says, not exactly, but okay. Have you ever compared coins that come from mint set versus business strike coins taken from uncirculated rolls? Doesn't matter. They're still business strike.
Yep.
Circulation or non-circulation does not change the strike used. So let's
just ban them.
I know. No, I'm gonna play with him for a little bit.
Then ban them.
Then I'll ban him.
Darren says we can tell you're arguing by how loud you're punching the keys.
I know. I am sorry.
Yeah, so just to give you guys an idea of what the mintages are, 3 million.
3 million.
And then 4 million for the proof.
And here's the thing. Here's my argument about why that does not even make them scarce. Because they are readily available because nobody likes them.
So here's the thing. I like the Susan B. Anthony, but it's not for the coin.
It is.
I like the Susan B. Anthony because it reminds me of my grandparents. And my grandfather.
Okay, I'm having a problem.
So
here.
I was a dumbass kid, and I took a couple of his Susan B. Anthony's, and I went and bought candy and stuff with him. And he was like, do you understand? And it was one of the first times that he told me, like, do you know why I had those? And I was like, no. And
why am I having a problem spelling? Why is it spell checking me on uncirculated? Please spell uncirculated for me.
UNCIRCULATED.
Thank you. And it's spell checking me.
Okay.
Whatever. All right. I'm just going to leave it.
And I'm laughing because I had this meme and it made me laugh. I won't say it here, but I will send a copy to Frostbyte later. And it cracks me up. A reason why a restaurant closed. Somebody couldn't.
UNCIRCULATED. Thank you. Thank you.
Somebody's
That's how I
spell
spelled
check
it.
worked out great.
What is going on?
I'm looking forward to that, Eric.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, the reason that those mean a lot to me is because that was the first time my grandfather actually sat me down and said, "Look at the close versus the wide. See the difference?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "So these ones over here, leave them alone, right?" Like, and it was the first time he actually sat me down and told me that. And he's like, "And plus, if you want a dollar, God ask me for a dollar, I'll give you a dollar. You know, you don't have to take it from me." And yeah, I was a stupid kid, I wanted to go play a video game or something like that, and didn't really understand that it was a dollar. Didn't really understand money. Thank God I was young. Um, and it was the first time he sat me down and started to actually talk to me about a coin. So whenever I see those, I always remember, taking two of those from my granddad and then him talking to me about what they were. Yeah, it's not a good idea to steal. But my whole premise of this is the first time I really started to gain an interest in coins. The first coin he ever gave me was seeded for my birth year, and I, I still have it. It's amazing. But I always think of my grandparents when I see the SBAs. So I like the SBAs for that personal reason. It's not because it's a good looking coin. I don't really care for the coin itself, but it's got great sentimental value for me.
Yeah.
All right, Gary, we'll chat with you later, brother.
Why? Anyway,
Why?
can somebody?
What? Huh?
Nothing. Are you reading your chat?
Oh, no, I'm not even looking at the screen.
Oh,
Okay, what
okay.
screen? My cousin spent hundreds of dollars of junk silver. Uh, yeah,
Yeah, that's not the
Welchco.
one. That's off the chat. Anyway, I'm gonna go get some coffee.
What chat? Our chat?
Your YouTube chat. Yeah.
Yeah, which one?
Not sure why that's okay. If you want to just let, that's all right. Anyway, I'm gonna go get some coffee. Yeah. You can't see that. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not tracking. But anyway, well, text me and
No,
I'll.
it's okay.
Yeah, so well, let's go. I worked at a convenience store. And looking back at it now, I wish I really would have been thinking about it. I would have just bought them all. Um, but her grandson would steal Morgan's, and then he would come and buy gas and stuff at the gas station. And then I knew she would come in because she would find out that they were missing, and she'd come in and see if he had been there. And so I would always buy them and then sell them back to her just because I knew he was stealing from her.
A family member cashing a bucket of silver. I had a family member
Yeah.
dump over 200 mint sewn bags of pennies in the Coinstar.
Yeah. But again, it's one of those things. I wish um, I would have kept them, bought them and saved them. She passed away. He ended up not bringing them to our store anymore. He ended up going to another store. Um, but because he knew that I knew what was going on, and he didn't want to face me anymore. But hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And I'd always buy him back and then give him back to her, and they'd disappear, and then he'd come a week later. He'd buy $50 worth of gas and $40 worth of junk, and then he'd pay with them silver dollars. But yeah, unfortunately, it's a big thing. I look back at when I was young and did some of the stuff that I did. I think we all do that though. But yeah.
Hey, I gotta get going. I gotta get ready for church. Have a blessed day, everybody.
Yeah, that's
Paul, see
funny,
you
Eric.
next week.
Yeah.
uh, that is funny.
Did you see that?
I did. I like that. That's hilarious. Again,
Thank
it's
you,
all in
spell
the
check.
yeah, huh?
It was all spell check. You know it was.
Well, yeah. So I mean, I don't mind. I don't even mind saying it. He sends a gift. Go, you can actually say it. It's talking about something being closed.
Yeah, they had to close the dining room due to unpredicted circumcisions.
Spelling matters. Spelling matters. Yeah. Due to unforeseen circumcisions, the dining room will be closed this evening. Sorry for the inconvenience. Oh, that is too funny. Oh, I'll post this to my
Your
uh,
dad
community page in my witticism page.
witticism. There you
Yeah, I'll
go.
post
I
it
got
on
to get used
witticism.
to that. I see stuff and it's like, who's that? Why did I subscribe to that? And then the one time he said, "Oh, it's me." I was like, that's it. I'm not
That
used to
channel's
it yet.
growing really fast. Like I'm already at 800 subs on that page.
Stuff like that go. That's what I'm saying. Stuff like
Yeah,
random stuff.
yeah.
Like
It's
Chuck and my daughter has said, "How do you get subscribers on YouTube? What do they want to watch?" I says, "Most people, you'd be surprised how many people that don't even care what they're watching. They just want to fly by and run through. And if they think it's semi interesting, they'll subscribe."
well, and
Uh,
what's funny is like one or two items are the thing that really like get people, right? Shorts, yeah, that's exactly what most of my stuff is. So I'm working on some long form content for that channel. And again, it's really hard because it's stupid dad joke. It's dumb stuff, but I don't want to look like a fool, right? That's not my intent. I don't want to look foolish. There's a lot of extremely intelligent people who made a living looking like a fool. Outstanding, good for them.
yeah,
I love watching uh,
here's a good one,
Dean
Frosty.
Martin, Jerry Lewis, right? But he was brilliant, very, very intelligent man.
We'll get some satire on political views. Everybody asks me how I sleep with my extreme political views. And I always tell them I'm my side and usually with the fan on.
Yeah, again, it's one of those. Yeah, it's just a little smart witticisms, right?
Yep.
Um, the one you like the one that I sent you? Did you see that?
The one with the
My
one right
wife.
before this, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it was hilarious.
yeah, and so it's just little funny stuff. I actually talked to my wife. She's going to be actually for those of you who didn't see the short, go look over at witticism, which is my joke channel, and my wife. We just did one regarding um, wine, and it's inappropriate, kind of mildly, but it's funny. Um, and she's like, "I'll absolutely do that. Let me just get cleaned up." And I'm dropping another one today about something, but it's fun to do that, and that people like that break from the crazy stuff and just like to have fun. And so I don't see much. I don't do that. Support your local Frosty. There you go. Um, it really, but again, it just depends. Now, I'm what I think I'm doing is mildly suggestive jokes like that are fine. I'm staying away from the massive overt like crazy dirty stuff. I'm not doing that. When if I monetize that channel, that may be something for members, but I want this to be like a giant collection of clean jokes for everybody. Just just fun dad jokes, changing and doing stuff different, taking different bends on it. Um, and then really focusing the coin channel on coins and numismatics and semi numismatics and stacking, right? Really focus on the money aspect of this. So
Offensive jokes are the funniest. They sure can be.
yeah, and again, it's you know, everything in moderation. Sometimes extreme is good, right? But um, I'm less concerned about offending people. I'm more concerned about making people enjoy why they're here and reminding people that we live in a tumultuous time, but doesn't mean we can't laugh and joke. You'll be amazed at what a joke can do to somebody's day. And I'll tell you, one of the best compliments I ever got was hearing my own joke at work,
Isn't
right?
that
Knowing
great?
that it circulated through the office and then it came back because that's joy that's
Did it change at all?
amazing. Say
That's the
again?
best. When I worked at the factory, you'd tell a joke, and by the time it worked its way around you, it was still funny, but it had changed. The names had changed or the characters had changed. Something, it's like the bear story when you're at the campfire. You're telling a story, and then when you hear the story 6 months later, it's the same story, but it's all changed.
Yeah, so I do that. I do that myself. That's one of the things that I like to do with dad jokes. Like I like to take an old goodie and make it new.
Yeah,
Yeah,
freshen it
like the
up.
telephone game. That's exactly right. Um, so I like to do things like, the light bulb jokes. How many engineers does it take to light bulb or change a light bulb, right? And that's one to hold the light bulb and the other two to rotate the ladder, right? And
See, when
then
I was young, the words to that joke were much different.
yeah, well, but there's different versions of it. Some are clean, some are dirty.
Right. Well,
Um,
this one wasn't dirty, but it was nationally motivated. We'll say.
yeah.
You know.
And so, but what I like to do, and again, working in the field that I do, I've talked with a bunch of people all day long. And so I like to take jokes and how can I utilize this in your field of expertise? And so if I'm talking with somebody and I did one that's there, like how many psychologists does it take to change a light bulb? It's the exact same joke, you just have a different punchline. And it's like one, but the light bulb really has to want to change. Um, so how do you take those and make them new? How do you reinvigorate some of the old jokes? Or yeah, exactly. Yeah, one to hold a light bulb and four to take shots of whiskey to spin the room. Um, yeah, so there's different ways of telling the same joke, and so I like to do that, and I like to put historical bends on it, like the Bofa joke, right? Um, take historical bends and make it like, oh my God, this is a real interesting story. Really, really draw people in, and then bam, smack them with the punchline. Um, so that's what that channel is designed to do. I'll still tell jokes and be silly and do my normal stuff here. I just won't be posting my jokes on this channel nearly as much. Um, I'll still post them on occasion because I love you guys and I want to keep the humor in it. But
And you can't help yourself; they'll just spill out.
yeah, I mean it just happens. But it's just about enjoying life. And remember, folks, this is a hobby. Okay, love what you do. Take it seriously. If you're stacking for money, stack for protection. I got it right. If you're a prepper, there's a definite reason for that. But this is a hobby, and remember that it's a hobby, and you'll have way more fun doing it.
I know a couple
What do
of
you have
preppers that
going
do
on as
lot.
far as roles today, there, sir?
I think I'm going to try to get two in, but I got one around 5:30 at 47D roll. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get to the other one because I've got my daughter and my grandkids coming over here in a few. And I
Yeah,
do
my
have to
wife.
spend time
So
with them.
for those of you, many of you actually helped um, uh, with this a long time ago. She did a fundraiser where she had raised money because she's going to Tanzania on a medical mission trip. She leaves on
Wow.
Tuesday and will be gone 10 days. They have something like 40 surgeries planned over the course of 6 days. And then she's going to be taking 2 extra days to go participate in a safari. So
That would be cool.
uh,
How is the
she's
political situation in Tanzania right now?
uh,
There's no it's not like Nigeria or Gabon or anything like that where it
no,
can be
no, no, it's not
catastrophic.
nearly that bad. There's a lot of self-protection stuff that you have to do. They were more worried about Marfan than they were anything that's happening on the other side of the country, which is extremely
Tell
deadly.
her
Like
to
you,
have local cash available. If it's that was the big
yeah,
thing. I get friends that used to go collect fish in Tanganyika, and they said if you come across shady people, there's only one way to get out, and that's to give them local cash, basically. And it doesn't cost a lot of money. But if she's being guided through there, and she's on a medical thing, so there'll be people to take care of that for her, most
oh
likely.
no, she's it's all organized.
Yeah,
It's all professionally done. Um, they've got
yeah. These
logistics
people just
teams
go
and
trekking through the
security
jungle
teams and yeah.
looking for
Um,
plants, fish, and
yeah,
animals.
YouTube. Yoxnav, it's not. She's not going to the Congo, right? Like she's not going deep. That's the Republic of the Congo or the ROC, that can be a very dangerous place.
And
But,
actually, that's the place that these people went to that I was talking about.
yeah.
That was
So-
their advice. Take a lot of local cash and don't put it all in one place.
Yeah, and so there's things you can do to protect yourself. But anyway, she's going to be leaving Tuesday, so she's really looking forward to that. So I'm going to be
It's going to be exciting.
I'm going to be a bachelor for a week, but that's fine.
It will be. She's only going for a week. Wow.
Well, it's 10 days, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's
She is going to be
it's
really
going to be work. Like they work 14, 15, 16-hour days.
Yeah.
And then she's going to take 2 days to just relax and
she'll
do the rest
sleep
of the
for 3
stuff.
days.
Yeah. So looking forward for that. For those of you that have helped with that fundraiser and you did that, thank you so much for that. That's actually coming to fruition on Tuesday. I drop her off at the airport on Tuesday, so should be a lot of fun. So I'll do a couple. I'm going to probably do my first live stream on witticism while she's gone, because my boys are pretty much self-reliant, so I don't have to worry about maintaining or babysitting or doing anything like that. So it'll be fun.
So we're gonna have late night streams, huh?
Yeah, probably. We'll
Nice.
see. But we'll yeah, it'll be fun. But anyway, all right, folks. Well, I'm going to go get my daughter up. We're going to get breakfast, and then I'm going to take her to get her senior pictures done.
Nice.
We got all that graduation stuff happening this year, so.
Well, I will see everybody next week.
All right, brother. We'll probably see you 5 o'clock Eastern, right?
Yeah, 5:30, but it'll probably start around 5 o'clock.
All right, sounds good.
All right, bye.
All right, brother. All right, folks. I appreciate you guys being here today. I know there was a lot of political stuff up front, but again, just because we have political discussion doesn't mean that we can't agree and get along. Ultimately, it's about understanding where you stand. You can have your beliefs, but allow others to have them as well. And again, we can all just agree to disagree sometimes. Frostbyte's known for his 2 a.m. streams. I have done quite a few of those. I enjoy those. A lot of fun for those people who have insomnia and like to laugh and joke like I do. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I am going to get out of here. Tomorrow, I'm dropping a video. It's going to be on a coin that has gone 1.8 million miles. You want to know more about it? Check that out. If you remember, you've already seen that. Comment on it. Let me know. Remember to check out Bifrost's channel and remember to go subscribe there. All right, folks. Love you guys. Be well, be blessed. And you know where I'll see you. I will see you guys in the streams. Take care all.